Hi, I'm Julianne Boyd, Artistic Director of Barrington Stage, and I have a very special guest with me today, Ty Allen Jackson, who wrote many fabulous books for young people. But the two that Barrington Stage is working with Ty on are Super Duper Kid, that's the first volume, which we're making into a musical, which we've made into a musical actually, but we won't be able to do a full production until the pandemic is under control, probably not till 2022. And then the book that we're here to talk about today is Super Duper Kid 2, Move. And we're doing a community read of this book, which means we've cast the book, which we've made into a sort of a play script, and we've cast the book with community members who are reading the book aloud. We're doing a Zoom reading of it. We're going to be offering it free on our website starting in December. So please stay tuned for it. But right now, I'd like to introduce you to Ty. Hi, Ty. How are you?
I'm excellent, Julie. How are you?
Great. So I guess my first question is, how did you come up with the idea of Super Duper Kid 2, Move?
So 2 is obviously a spin-off or the sequel to the original. The original kind of just stemmed from my tremendous love of superheroes. And out of all of my children's books, it's the one book that every child says, I need that sequel. But my love of superheroes and just honestly what superheroes stand for. I mean, if you think about the mythology of superheroes, I mean, what do superheroes stand for? They stand for honor, goodwill, nobility, strength, caring about your fellow man and woman. And so to take these principles and put them inside the heart and soul of a young 11, 12-year-old kid, it just seemed like a fun project.
So how did you come up with the idea of Maya as a superheroine and her just fabulous, fabulous story?
Yeah, I thought it was so important with Jovan, the protagonist, the AKA the Super Duper Kid, having just such a strong, powerful persona. I thought for him to have a sidekick who also had a strong, powerful persona would be really important. And the idea for Maya honestly came about for a few reasons. One, it was important for me to have a strong female character. I just don't feel like when I was talking about the mythology of superheroes, you generally think of Batman, Superman, Iron Man, and then Wonder Woman. And that's kind of like the only female superhero. I mean, there's certainly others, but she's kind of the benchmark. And I thought, what a nice idea to bring another one into play. And to make her into a Latina means a lot to me because I think that people of color just are not depicted very often as a strong contemporary protagonist, much less a superhero. And so I thought for young people who I think really appreciate seeing themselves depicted in characters, to having a strong Latina character just to me felt really comfortable and right.
I love the idea of the Mayan culture. I mean, last Saturday we made masks with the cast. We just had a great time, and they learned so much, as well as I did too. Did you do much research on this, or did you happen to know the Maya culture?
I knew a little bit of it, but it was important for me developing a Latina character to want to have a strong foundation of history and prestige for the Latina community. And I thought, what is more prestigious than the Mayan civilization? I mean, they are responsible for so much of the science, mathematics, architecture, and more that we use today.
So Ty, I'd love you now to look at the camera and give some advice to the young people who are tuning into this. What advice would you give them as they watch Super Duper Kid 2, Move?
For the people who have either read the book or will see the production and listen to the production, I want you to know about this book that it is, to me, really symbolic of who we are today. Our young people are so strong and so powerful. I think you probably don't even realize how unbelievably powerful you are. You are the benchmark of what it is that we need to be in this country, especially those that are diverse, that are minorities. You hold such power within you. And just like these characters, they're fun-loving, but they're also very smart. They're also very savvy. Like I emphasized before, superheroes stand for honor. They stand for nobility. They stand for courage. They stand for goodwill. And these are certainly all principles that all of us possess in some capacity or another. So as you're reading this book and hearing this story, I really want you to absorb the majesty of who they are, but also the fun of who they are, because you can absolutely positively be both. You could be a superhero and a super kid at the same time.